Hey there, model railroaders. Welcome to Vintage Road and Rail. In today's video, I thought I would do an unboxing of this Atlas Trainman ALCO RS-36 locomotive. This is a Freelance railroad, Sunbelt Systems, but I'll go into that a little bit more in just a couple moments. A couple videos ago, I did a haul video where I went over a few of the things I'd picked up over the past few months, and this is one of the locomotives in that bunch. And I'd also done, sorry about the glare there, did a poll on the community tab on my channel to see which one should be next, either this one, the SD45, or the GP30, and this one won out with the other two tied. So I'll keep watching that, and whichever wins will be the next one to unbox. But anyway, so let's start taking a look at this locomotive. We're going to unbox it. We're going to run it. And I'm also going to do a couple other things, like I'm going to see how much it weighs. I'm going to check, make sure the wheels are engaged, and check the coupler height. And at the end of the video, I may actually take the shell off and see what it looks like on the inside. All right, so like I said, this is a Atlas Trainman. So this is one of their budget locomotives. Probably about on par, I would say, with Walther's mainline. They have good drives in them, but really Spartan on the details. But speaking of that, let's take a look at the side of the box here. Well, first, the end, which I'd already showed you. This is what we've got. And these are the features. I'll hold that there for a minute, and if you want to actually read it, you can pause it. But I'm going to pull it out of camera so I can read it. So this is what you have with the Trainman locomotive. Now this is a silver locomotive because they offer them in gold, and the difference between the silver and gold is the silver are DCC ready, and the gold have a DCC decoder of some sort. But here are some of the main features. So it has the same drive system as you get in the Master Series of locomotives. It has a 5-pole motor with dual flywheels. It's got separately applied hand rails and railing. Matching caboose is available, but that will not be the case for this one. And again, we'll go over that in just a few moments. It's got locating dimples for grab irons, and that's what makes it similar to the Walther's mainline. Let's see, true scale dimensions with accurate detail, realistic die-cast underframe, and it's equipped with the Accumate couplers. And so there it is again, and there's really not much more to show on the box. Pretty much Spartan on the bottom. So let's go ahead and unbox it here. Let's just slip the top off, and we've got this protective shell that holds everything in place. So that just slips out here, and there's a couple of screws, whoop, off camera there, that hold everything in place, but we'll get to that in just a second. Let's check out our paperwork. All right. So first thing we've got is our warranty and registration card. So we'll want to send that off to Atlas. And then we have got some information on their warranty. And then we've got an exploded diagram. It's folded. And there's the other side, and you can see everything that's in there. So I'm going to expand it out completely. And that's pretty much it. Not a lot to it. And that's it as far as the paperwork is concerned. And I'll be looking over this manual in a few minutes to make sure how to take the shell off. A lot of locomotives, it's just a matter of taking the front and rear coupler and coupler pockets out, and the shell lifts off. But others will have a another couple screws or something. All right, so again, whoops, sorry, got a glare. There's a light right above me. So this is it, and it's plastic packaging, and the packaging looks pretty secure, and it's unique to me that it's screwed in, so it's not going to rattle and move about. So let's go ahead and slip it off of that protective cover off here. All right. And then this will just pop off. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave all this in place and remove those screws. So let me grab a screwdriver. I meant to do that before I started. And leave it flat and just kind of find the screw ahead of time. Like so. Just get it out of there. I don't screw it in. All right, so excuse me. All right, so hopefully that's what we need. So let's go ahead and pop this off here. Set that aside, and we got a little piece of foam, secures everything in place. And yep, that was more than enough to get our locomotive out. And we have a couple of little detail parts here. I'm not real sure what these are. All right, so let's take a look at the actual locomotive. It's not overly heavy, I can tell you that. And we're very light on the detail. Let's see, does this actually go up and down? Nope. The little planks are fixed in place. So let's just start at the front. So we got our headlights, our number boards, and we've got windshield wipers. I imagine those are painted on, which is fine by me. And then right behind that plank, you can see, let's see if I can twist it to where you can see it. There's a brake wheel. And here is our little knuckle coupler. And here is the side of the locomotive. So this is number 613 Sunbelt system. And as I mentioned earlier, this is a Freelance railroad. 3-Notch Rails is the Facebook group that has these. And he has a bunch of other stuff, other Freelance stuff. But the Sunbelt system is one of the ones he's got. And I think this is the only one he's got a locomotive to, but I'm not real sure. And I really liked it because I liked the orange color on it. And this is called I think it's called a Dreamsicle paint scheme. So we go on around to the back. And in there you can really see the lack of detail. You can see those little dimples. And that's where if you want to put your own grab irons, you can. But we have our number board and our headlight. The other side is pretty much identical. And then on the top, all the detail is molded in. And we've got our air horns. And we've got some pretty decent molded detail on the side, but that's really all you're getting. Nothing separately applied, nothing see-through, like all these openings here. It's just molded in detail. And in here is a good look at the trucks. And here is the underside. And we can see that is made by Atlas. And I don't see any additional screws or anything, so I'm hoping it's just a matter of taking these coupler pockets out here to get us inside the locomotive. And that's pretty much that. So off camera, I'm going to check the wheel gauge and check the coupler height and get you a weight, and then we'll come back and we'll give it a quick test run and just see how it performs. So give me just a moment. Before we set the locomotive on the track and test it out, I thought I'd cut back in here real quick. So I did test the wheel gauge and they are perfect. And I was pleasantly surprised to see that both couplers, the height of, based on the Katy coupler gauge, looked to be spot on. I didn't see anything, at least according to my eyes, that indicated they were high or low. So at least the case of this model, we're in good shape. So right now I've got this set to grams. So let's see what we weigh here. So 294 grams. And this thing, and it looks like we're at 10.4 ounces. So it's, like I said, it's not overly heavy, but it should be pretty decent enough. So let's go ahead and turn that off. All right, so I've come off the tripod and freehanding this. And as you can see, we've got her set up on the track here, and I think it looks really good. I'm really liking this orange color with the red. It has a very southern look to it, if I may say so. All right, so let's turn on the power and let's see how she runs. And let me make sure I threw this switch. I was messing with it earlier. Yep, it was right. Sorry about that. All right, let's try that again. Oh yeah, that is nice and smooth. It's very quiet. Let's stop it over there. Let's throw it in reverse and bring her back around. And we can see the reverse headlight comes on. I didn't pay attention to the front headlight, but we'll slow it down. And so both the number boards and the headlights are lit. I would assume that's going to be just one bulb in there, but hard to say until we take a look inside. So let's go on back here. We'll stop it again. And we're going to put it, yep, headlights and number boards are lit. All right, so now this is right out of the box. I've not broken it in or anything. So let's see how our slow speed is. Let me try to get a better hold of this camera here. And let's see how slow she can go. And this is just DC. And that's about as slow as I can get it. If I go any slower, it'll cut out. But I think that's really good. That is a really good slow speed. And I don't hear a thing. It is whisper quiet. That is really nice and slow. All right, so let's go ahead and stop it. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and stop the camera, and I'm going to let it run probably about a half hour in each direction, get her good and broke in. And while it's doing that, I think I'm going to grab some lunch. And so in about an hour, I'll come back and we'll see if our locomotive is still running good and smooth, and recheck the slow speed, see if we can go a little bit lower. And then after that, we'll crack it open and then pull some cars. So I've run this in for 30 minutes each direction. And while I was doing that, I got some lunch. So let's now see how it's running after a good break-in period. So did I have that in forward? Yep, I do. All right, so let's see how it's still sounding. It's still sounding really good. Bring it back here. Yeah, that sounds really great. Still nice and smooth and quiet. All right, so let's go back and forward and let's see how slow it can go. We had it really slow before, but let's see how we're doing now. All right, well, let's see if we can go just a tad lower. I definitely think that's a little bit slower. Probably not earth-shatteringly so, but that's definitely a little bit slower than what it was doing before. All right, so let's stop it and let's see how it does going backwards. I didn't test its slow speed backwards before, but why not? Extremely quiet this locomotive is. All right, so that is very slow on DC. That cut out on us, but still, that is some really good slow speed. All right, so I'm going to set back up on the tripod, and let's go ahead and take this shell off, and let's see what we look like on the inside, and then we're going to put it back on the track. And I've got some cars here. we'll pull a train, and then that'll conclude the video. So I got the locomotive in this little engine cradle. That way it'll kind of hold it stable and don't have to worry about breaking anything. And I didn't see anywhere else where there would be any screws, so I'm hoping it's just a matter of removing these two coupler pockets, and away we go. Hopefully they're not going to be a pain to put back on. You can see where the screws went in to hold the locomotive in place when it was in its cradle. And I've also got a couple of KD, I believe these are 148s. I'm going to go ahead and swap them out because I've got them off, and I'd rather have metal knuckle couplers. So let's start with this front one here. And that way. Go ahead and stop the other way. All right, so let's see if we can. All right, what's one? And it appears, oh, these couplers split. All right, let me do this off camera, but you kind of get the gist. You take that screw out, and out comes those coupler pockets. All right, so that was a little harder than I expected to get the shell off of that off this locomotive here. So you did have to remove the coupler pockets, but you also had to pry a little bit very carefully under the seal to get it off, and it was not exactly easy. It seemed to be a little bit easier to go from the front and then work my way to the back, but I was terrified I was going to break something, but it seemed to work out okay. All right, so here's the inside of our locomotive. Oh yeah, and this is something I forgot about these AccuMate couplers, is they're plastic for one, which I knew that, but they're broken into two, they're set up into two pieces. So you have this piece that has your trip pin, and then another piece like that, and those two make the one coupler. I think those also come with the AccuRail kits, so I'm definitely going to be swapping it out because I don't care for that. But if you look here, I'll kind of zoom in if I can. Let me just pan over a bit, and you can see we got a 21 pin decoder right here. So we just need to pop out this little board right here and pop in a decoder. You can get one from pretty much anybody. And what I thought was interesting is that there is a speaker. I wasn't sure if that was a speaker or not, or if it was just something to hold that bulb in place. But when I flipped it over, you can see right under there on the edge the speaker. So that's really nice. And I also like how the bulb is here. Move my hand out of the way in here. So there is nothing attached on the inside of this locomotive. So, all right, well, off camera, I'm going to go ahead and put the couplers back on, and then we'll pull some cars. I've got the shell back on the locomotive, and I have gone ahead and switched this out with some Katy couplers. And let me go ahead and get these guys out of the way here. So I'm not real sure what to do with those. Probably just put them in a box, a little baggie, something like that. But don't think I'll ever use them. But here's our locomotive, looking nice, sitting on the track. So let's pull some cars and test her out here. Put it in forward. And I don't know if I mentioned it, but the couplers dropped right in, no problem, and are at the correct height. Slide that back here, and let's pick these four cars up. And we'll come back around, and then we'll pick up the other five. I don't have a way to do a pull test like I've seen some people do. They have this little contraption that they hook up to the coupler. But on a layout this size, I imagine it'll be able to pull more than enough cars. All right, so we're going to come on around. Put this switch. Hopefully I can pick these up with no problem. They're on a curve, so they may not. Nope. I'll just hand have got them. There we go. Counting the caboose, this is 10 cars, and it's pulling them no problem. Easy peasy. All right, well, we're going to watch this make a few laps, but that's going to pretty much wrap up the video. Hopefully you enjoyed taking a look at this Atlas Trainman ALCO RS-36 locomotive. This is Sunbelt system. It's a Freelance railroad. I want to see if I can find out some more information on the Freelance railroad from the guy that designed it, and if so, I'll drop it down in the description. All right, well, that's going to wrap it up. So again, hopefully you enjoyed taking a look at this. Got more stuff coming. I'm still waiting on a piece of track to make an adjustment to this layout, and I've got a couple other locomotives I want to do an unboxing on. So those will be coming up soon. So if you haven't done so already, do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. That way you know when the next video comes up. All right, model railroaders, until next video, happy model railroading, guys. Take care.